day of Flutter Forward event. And my name is Parsh, and I'm the co-team member in the Android team of GDSE VIT Bhopal. So I hope you attended yesterday's event and enjoyed it too. And by chance, if you have missed it, no worries. Yesterday we covered Dart basics and the introduction to the Flutter, and today we will be using those basics and some covering some basic widgets too, and try to build a working authentication application in which the user will be able to log in and sign up on real-time basis only. So I will try to give a quick recap too while coding the parts only. So without further ado, I guess we should get started, right? So before that, I need to tell you a few things that you can code for the Flutter and on two platforms. Basically, either it's Android Studio or the VS Code. I prefer VS Code. So in these sessions, I will be using the VS Code only. For the Android Studio part, they can see the installation of the Flutter and Dart from yesterday's session, or you can see the documentations too. But for the VS Code, I will be telling few things that we need to install before starting. So first of all, we need two extensions. One is the Flutter and the second one is the Dart. And after that, you can get started with your coding part. I will tell you how to create a project. Yesterday, Asmith covered it only from the command line only, and then where you need to type Flutter create and the Flutter project name. And the second way of creating the Flutter project is through the command palette, which you can find on the settings part. And here it is. The shortcut for it is Control Shift P. So I will type Control Shift P and type Flutter. So here you will get the commands that you can type on the terminal, or you can go through from the command palette only. So create a new project. We will be creating a new project here by clicking on this, and then you have some basic Flutter templates and that the Flutter plugin that we have installed gives us. So like we have an application, the demo application, and in this the empty application, you don't have these comment lines, but we need to learn in this session, so we will be using the first one only, the application part. And then you need to select the folder and have to type the project name. One thing that you need to, the project name should always contain lowercase letters, and no spaces are allowed, only lowercase characters, and for spaces you can use the underscore. I have already created one project, so I won't be creating one. You can create, and after that you will see the code something like this only, the demo application that Flutter provides us. Then after that, from the bottom right part, you can select the emulators or anything that you want. I have some using the physical device that I have. So I will click on that, and then click on the run without debugging mode, so that it runs the application. On the first go, it can take some time for building the application first time, depending on your PCs and all these things, net and etc. But after that, it won't take too much time. So here's the demo app. You can see yesterday also Asmith covered this part only. So the app is working fine, but we know we won't need this. So I will erase all these things and start coding from the first line, we can say. So always I need to tell you a few things also, that these are all the lines, the coding, all the codes are in this folder, the lib folder. You can create multiple files where you can manage all the widgets or all the screens you should have. Always you will always find one file, which is main.dart. Your code starts from this file only, so this file is mandatory. And we have a few restrictions that how do we need to code this file. So I will tell you that only. First of all, you need to import few packages. The first one is the material app, material.dart. Like if you have prior experience of coding, you must have seen that in C plus in include IO streams and all those things, which include the basic packages and all the functions. So here it is, we write that as import package flutter material.dart, and after that we can get started. So first of all, we will type the main function. Uh, the always a compiler, or we can say the code runs from this block only, which is the void main block. And after that, we need to type one thing, which is so basically what Runap does is it connects our widgets to the engine, and it tells that yes, these are the widgets, and then you need to basically connects our widgets to the screens of our mobile. So here we can see that we need to give a widget to this Runap function. So first of all, we will create one widget. So for that, first of all, we will be starting with the stateless widget first. For that, we can type STL, and then the snippet will give you syntax. Here it is, and I will name my widget as the my app. After that, we can give that widget to this my app function, and when we have created one this basic thing, then we can click on the hot restart function, and it will change this whole app into a black screen, which means yes, it should be there, right? That we haven't coded anything, then our screen should be black only. So after that, we will start the coding platform here only. One thing that the parent widget should always be material app. So what material app does is it uh, basically wraps all your widgets and give it a material design. And what does a material design means? A material design basically is a basic rules, or we can say the design given by Google. iOS also has their basic design, which Flutter mentions it as Cupertino material app. So always we need to give either the material app if we are using these Android applications, and if you are using iOS, you can use the Cupertino material app also. Then after that, we need to give the title to an app, which will take a string. Whenever you go to the this RAM part, or we can say the holding part, there you can see that what we need to name the application as. So we will be writing this as port app. After that, we need to there are many things that we can give to the material app, or we can say the arguments that it can take. So like it have actions, builders, and then color, dark themes, or many things. So that here we can define the theme of the application as well, whether how it will look in the light theme mode and the dark theme mode. And the roots are also defined here. Roots, we will cover the this part, the roots part, in the later section of this session only, on today's session only. So as of now, we will type this home thing, where it tells the material app that where the our app is starting and what is the first page that we need to render. And for all of you, that how did I get these options? We just need to click Control plus space, and then we will get all these functions that the material app can take, or all the arguments that material app can take. So here I will type home, and it again takes a widget. How do I know that it takes a widget? You can hover on it, and it tells me that home takes a widget. It takes a type widget. So here again we will give a widget, but we don't have one till now. So again I will create one widget. Let's name this widget as homepage, right? And again I need to give this homepage uh, to this, and yes, it's connected. After we hot restart the application, we still have the black screen, right? But we you can see there's a debug banner which tells that our app is in the debug mode. Um, so we can say that these both pages are connected, and how do I get these screens? Or here you can see if I type the child part. The child part is basically it tells the next widget that this container widget is connected to. So what do you mean by a container? Container is basically it defines by the name only. It creates a container in which you can do many tasks. Like you can give a text in it, image in it, and then shape it according to your needs. So we use this widget quite a lot, and you will know later that how this widget is to this much important. So how can we give the child or container the text or a image? For that we use a child argument which tells the next widget that will be connected to the parent widget, or we can say the container widget. So here we can give the child argument. So one thing about Flutter that it is all about your English, right? Uh, that we if we need to give a text, you just need to type text, and we will find a widget which tells us text. How text works? Text takes a string. Here we can like we can write GDSE, right? So here you can see that it's GDSE, but it's not good, that much good looking, right? So why this is happening? Because we still have the widgets, but we need to give the material app type design, and this homepage isn't giving that thing. For that we have a specific widget which is known as scaffold widget. What it does is it basically wrap all your widgets and wrap it in a material app return type, where the material app can recognize that how this widget will look. So after we give scaffold and restart it, then you can see a white screen has come, right? Now the material app knows how the design will look. So in scaffold we have, again we have many arguments which scaffold can take. For example, if you want to give a background design, background color. So for that, if we want to give up for example, I will be giving a yellow color, right? So we just need to type colors dot, and then you have all these material colors that you need. For example, I need the yellow color. So here the screen is yellow, so we won't need this design, this color, because it don't look that good. So after that, if you want to give an app bar, you just need to type app bar and it will give you the app bar, that argument only. Then app bar, this app bar takes a preferred size widget, which we can say an app bar. It's a inbuilt class or method, you can say, that is a type of preferred size widget only, so we can use app bar. For example, again this app bar takes a lot of things. Till now, for now we need only the title, then we can say the Flutter Forward. Now it says that it can't take a string, right? So again we can hover on the title part, and it tells that we need a widget that will be passed to the title argument. So what we can do is, again we will clear this part, and we need to if you want to give text, you just need to give a text widget and type again that Flutter Forward event. And here you will see an app bar has already been created. So again, then if you go to the body part, so what do you mean by body? Body is all this white screen you can see is this body thing, where you place all your widgets, or you can say all your design in this part. So here if you want to take a body, and if we again need to give, we want to give a text, we can as the second day of session. Yes, you can see it's on the second day, right? So this I need to tell this part because of the scaffold thing only. So again we will clear all these things because we don't need this thing, this design. We are creating a login page. I will give you a brief that first of all we will place an image, and then some text, and then input fields where you can type your credentials, and then you can log in and sign up. This part. And to you for example, you have a code, right? And it takes 300, 400 lines. So you can't always be on one single file. It will be difficult for you to navigate and change your code in the future needs. So what we do is we create a new file, and I will name it as login.dart. Here I will create the code for the login screen. So again, we need to import Dart because it has some, you can say you can't use stateless and stateful without importing the material.dart. So again, we will be creating a stateless widget, and here I will give it a new name, which is login screen. Then I will delete it again. So we will give it, now it's still giving me an error, right? That the method, we can say, we can hover on it and read the error. The method login screen isn't defined for the type. So basically why it is happening, it doesn't know where is this login screen. So we need to navigate it by giving the path for it in the import lines. So we will be importing it, then now it knows, right? Now again it's the black screen, and the reason for that is we haven't used scaffold. So we will be using a scaffold. And again you can see the white screen. uh, One thing that if you don't need this debug banner, what you can do is you simply go to the material app, and then type debug mode, debug, then it will show a thing which is debug show checked mode banner, which is this banner, and it takes a type bool. So what we will be giving is we will be giving it a false, and here you can see now it's no more. So we can code easily now. For this app we don't need any app bar and all those things. So we will directly dive into the body part. So in this, for example, we need to type a text, right? uh, Welcome back. Welcome back. You can see it's behind the time and all those things. So to avoid this thing, what we need to do is we wrap the body into a safe area widget. How do we get these action things? You can either press on this bulb icon where you can see all those things, and or if you are using the VS Code, what you need to do is you simply press Control dot, and here you have all those things. And if you are using the Android Studio, I guess the shortcut for that is Alt plus Enter. So again, we will be wrapping this into a widget, and that widget is known as safe area. So what does safe area does? Now you can see it is below these time and all those things. So what basically safe area does is all nowadays all phones have notches and unique designs, like if you have a camera on this side, or a proper notch in the like iPhones and all those have. So what safe area does, minus the area, and then gives you a safe area where you can where you can render all the widgets, and you won't get any disruptions in the designs. So here it is. Now what if I need to enter a new text below it? So we can't do that, right? Because text don't have a child argument, as you can see. So if we need to wrap all those things, we have some alignment widgets. We can say the column and the row. So we will be using column because we are aligning it in the uh, we can say the vertical way. So we will be using column, and then now the column takes a children. Children means you can give it a list of widgets, where, or you can say it can take many widgets. So again, one second. Again, we can say text, enter your credentials, right? Now still it isn't looking good, right? So of the column has some alignment properties where you can see the main axis alignment. So main axis alignment aligns your widgets in the main axis. So what is this main axis and this cross axis? So main axis is for the column, we can say the main axis is this vertical part, and the cross axis is this horizontal part. And in row it's just opposite, or you can learn the way I learned, that the column is always aligned the things in the vertical way. So the main axis will give the vertical way, and if for the row where the widgets are done in the horizontal way. For example, like I will give you an example by raising this column and give you a row. So now you can see uh, that enter your credentials is on the right side of the welcome back. Earlier it was below the welcome back text widget. So this is what a row does. So we don't need this. So we will get back to the column, and after column we will again hit control S. Yesterday Smith covered this hot reload and a hot restart part. So either you can press control S to hot reload your app, or you can press on this thunder icon and it will hot reload only. Again, coming back to the axis alignment things. So main axis alignment takes, we can see it already have given us the options that we can type, but we won't be looking at this thing because we are learning at this stage. So main axis alignment takes a main uh, return type. So we will type main axis alignment and then press dot, and we have these types of main axis alignment. So if we press center, let's see what it will does. Yes, so on the main axis it has aligned all your widgets on the center part of the screen. Again, if you need it in the end part, or you can see the bottom part, we simply need to give it at the end, and it will come to the end. And again, if we want to give some space between them, space. So here we have three options, which is space around, space between, space evenly. So I will give you the space between idea about the space between. What it does is it basically pushes all the widgets to the extreme parts and give you the space between them, the maximum space that they can take between them. And space around is basically trap it takes uh, gives some space around all the widgets and evenly tells you the thing that it evenly divides the space. So as of now we only need the start thing because we need all these credentials from the top side. Then comes the cross-axis alignment. Cross-axis will align all the widgets on the horizontal part. So we will be typing cross, and it takes a cross-axis alignment argument. So again, we will be pressing cross-axis alignment. Now, one thing that we need to see is, again, it takes end, which will push the widget to the right side of your phone. Then center, start, stretch values. So to align these two things on the center. So we will be pressing center, and it will come on the center part. Right now it isn't coming because we don't have all those part that it can't define the center. So we can't use it right now at this moment. So this is all about the column alignments and all those things. We don't need this main axis alignment too. So after that, now we can't write these things like this only, right? We need to style these, or we need to design these text widgets only. So for that, again, we will type the first word that comes to our mind, which is style, and it has an argument type style, and it takes a type text style. So again, we will give this a text style argument. Then now the textile has many things. Right now, if you want to give the background color, you can give the color of the text, and many things that color decorations and all. But we just need to define the size, right? So we will be giving a font size of 20, and it has increased. I think we need to increase more. Okay, 25 will work. Yes, it's working now. Now again, what we will be doing is we need to highlight this, or we can say we need to bold this. So for that, we need to define the weight of the font. So again, here it is, the font weight. Then it takes the font weight argument. So we will be typing. Now it's on the bold side. Again, we will be styling all those things, but before that, let's include a photo, right? On the top side, let's include a photo which can make our app a pretty better design. So for that, we first of all we need to have a image, right? So we will be downloading for this session. We will be downloading an image. For that, I use the website, the Undraw website. Here it is. It has some free open source illustrations from where you can download all these illustrations. So we need a blue color design. So we will be pressing blue and then search the illustration that we need. So we need a login screen. So here it is. We have the login screen design. So we will click. We will be clicking on it and download the PNG file for this session. And once again, let's yeah, it's been downloaded. Now I need to add this file on the on the app. So what we will be doing is you can find that file into the your download folder. So before that, let's refactor it. First of all, we will be creating a folder which is known as the images folder. We will be storing all the images in this folder. So let's create a image folder and then drag and drop the image that we have downloaded. Like you can see, I have this image right here. So we will drag and drop that in the image section, and here it is. One second, let me push it back. Yes, here it is. So we can't give this undraw login redesign and whatever the name is. So we will be renaming it from here only, and we will be giving it as a login. So where is the design? Now, how do we get this login PNG in our folder? So for that, we have a PubSpec YAML file. So what does this file do is it has all the you can say the packages, fonts, assets on which our app which our app is dependent on. For example, all the packages that we need to give it, like for example, if we have some packages in which we create the Firebase, which we'll be learning in the later stage of these sessions only. So as of now, we just need to add a image to it. So here we have the command lines. That's the reason I told you that we need to create an application, not an empty application. Application. So here it has all these to add assets onto your application, add an asset section like this. So it has given, so it's commented. So we will uncomment it by selecting it, and then yes, now here it is. Now we have a images folder, so it already has images. One thing that I need to clear, that this pubspec.yaml file is space sensitive. That means if you have given two spaces by mistake, then it won't run correctly. So we need to change this one. And we have images folder, and under that we have a login.png. So we will be erasing this thing and giving it as login.png, so that the application knows that there is a image named login.png on which our app depends. So you can give this by this name, by this lines only. Or if you have multiple images, right? Right now we only have one. What if you have 10 or 12 images? You can't manually type every image name. So what we can do is we can just give it as images slash. It will include all the images in the images folder. So we can give it like this only. After that, the now the file knows that there is an image that we need to render. So we need to give an image before this welcome back text. So we will be creating a new widget, uh, the above the text widget. So what it takes, right? Like I said, you need to type the first word that comes to your name, image, right? Now it has some images types. So image.asset basically tells the we have some assets downloaded where we can see, and then files, memories. Network is where you need to provide a URL to your photo, and it will connect that image and render that on your screen. So as of now, we have image.asset. So it's a name. So for the name document, what we can do, we need to give a relative path, that where the image is stored. So either you can type it manually, or you can just click right click on your mouse and then see copy related path, and then again we need to give a string, so we need to wrap it in the single quotes, and then again control V, here you can paste. One thing that you need to do, that you need to replace this slash, so we'll be giving a forward slash like this and then hot restart it, and here it is. Here you can see our images here. So that's how you insert an image. Now we can give, now we can design, right? Now you see automatically the text has come to the centered part. How does this happen? The image dot asset takes all the space, all the horizontal spaces, and according to that only we have one axis on which all the widgets render. So in this the center comes at this place, so the text already has come to this place. Now we need a spacing between this image. For that, we for white spaces we use a widget which is known as sized box. We can give the height, that how much space do I need to give. For example, I need 25. So here it is. Now it has pushed the welcome back again to the 25 pixels below, and then here it is. So I think we need to increase the font size too again. Again, we need to give some space between this thing. So again, we will be using a size box of height 15. Say. Now it will, yes, now it's come. So we need to give the design to this part also. So again, we will be giving style and then text style argument. And now we will be giving size as we can say 20, right? No, it's 15 is, I guess. Now we need to give it a color also. I need to give this a color, a gray color, right? So I will type gray and then colors dot gray. Now here it is. You can see it's in the gray color. I need to increase the size a little bit and increase this thing. You can see that it's giving me some suggestions that we need to. I can wrap the all these things into const. So I will wrap all these designs into a const where it is gone. Now after that we need two boxes, right, where you can enter your credentials. So after some text widget, I will create text form field, or you can use specific text form field. Now you can see here comes a white line, black line, where you can enter all the inputs that you want to take, but it isn't looking good, right? So we will be decorating it, or we can say styling it a little bit. For that, we have, again we will see the arguments that it can take. So here it is, I guess, yes, decoration. Now decoration takes a type of input decoration, so we will be giving it input decoration. Sorry, input decoration. And after that, again we have many arguments that it can take. So we need to give it a label, right? That what does this text field represent? So we will be giving it a text label where you can say email. Okay, you can see email as I need a different border, right? So what I will be giving a border, and again it takes input border. So I need to give outline, yeah, outline input border. You can see now it has wrapped it in a box. So before that, let's see one. You can see one thing, that it has taken all the space that that if you need some spacing, so we use a specific widget for that, which is known as padding, this thing. So the web developers know about this padding thing, and those all of you are new, so I will tell you what does this padding does. It basically gives you a space from the all the sides, like left, right, and then top, bottom. So as of now, the padding takes a padding argument, and it takes a edge inches geometry. It's a predefined type which Flutter gives, and then we need to give the 8 offsets. We can see the 8 value from all the sides. So we can say, we can type dot all. If you don't want all, we can see there are many options, right? The symmetric, where you need to give the vertical different value and the horizontal a different value. If you want that, you need to give all the 4 sides a different values, and then you can use only or from LRTB. As of now, we don't need that, so I will be giving all part only. Now you can see it's space, right? But it won't look good. So what we can do is, we will be doing this part. Horizontally, I will be giving it a value of 10. Yes, and then on the vertical part, I will be giving it 15 padding. Yes, now it's done. Yes, again, after that, I need some more space, right? So what I will do, I will copy this thing and again paste it here, and here I need to give some more space. So it's 25, right? Now it's good. It's looking good. Then now you can see that email, right? This email text has come. Now what we need to do is, we need to give a hint that how an email looks. So again, we will be typing hint. In the hint text takes a string type. So here you can say enter your email. Or no, what we can do is, we will type a basic. See, it has given me this thing that how an email looks. One thing again, then what is the type of the keyboard that you need? So it takes a text input action, right? Here it's basically the button, or what button do you need. So again, we will look for how the keyboard should look. So yes, here it is, the keyboard type, right? So again, we will be typing keyboard type, and then again it takes keyboard. Now it tells me keyboard or the email address. So we need to enter email address. So we will be giving email address. Now you can see we have an email address icon extra. So this is one thing that can help the user, or can increase the user experience much better. Now I need to design this thing a little bit more. So what I need to give is, I need to give it a border radius. So we will be giving a circular radius of for example a 12 radius I need to give. Now you can see it, basically the borders have curved a little bit. Let's increase it a little bit more. Yes, now it's looking fine. After that, one thing that you need to do, whatever input you are, whatever thing that you are entering in this, so we need to track that, right? So for that, we have a specific argument, or a specific thing which is known as controller, where the text form field can track the user, what the user is entering. So for that, we need to first. So for that, we will be creating a text editing controller. But before creating a text editing controller, one thing that you need to see, that we need to convert this stateless into stateful. Why do we need a stateful? That after every change, right? So we need to track the what are the changes that we have faced in the widgets part, or the state part. So again, we will be creating a email controller, we can say. Again, text editing controller. It takes a type, and now we can give this email controller, the email argument. So here we can track all those things. You will later in the stage, you will get to know that why I input this controller thing. Now it's looking fine. Now we need to give a icon too, right? So what I can do is, in the input, we will type the prefix. So prefix icons. Icons take icons. The syntax is a little bit like this. So first of all, we need to define a widget, that is icon widget, and it takes a icon. So this is how you define the icons. So this is the person icon that I need to give. Then after that, I need a suffix icon too, right? The suffix icon can be, we can give this here only, suffix icon. As of now, we don't need any suffix icon in the email, right? we will be adding that in the password field. So we have this field working perfectly. So we will copy this padding and then copy it below, where you can see now we have the password. Now we will change some things here. So we can give the password. First of all, I need to decrease this so that it creates a little bit less space. Then again, we don't need it as email, right? We need it as password, and we don't need this. For example, we will be giving some stars. That's working fine. Now see, here we have some render flow. What does render flow means? That the widget takes the space more than the screen has. So for that, what we can do, we can wrap this column, now the safe area, into a scrollable widget, which is known as single sensor view. Now, if we see, we don't face that error, right? So after that, if you are going by this, then we can do is we can type password if it has a password, right? Now it has some passwords icon. Now here, whatever we are typing in this text field, it's visible, right? And you can see now whatever I type it in this part, this is also, and that this the text is also getting entered in the email field. So how this happens? This happens because of the controller, because the controller is taking all those things. So for that, first of all, we need to differentiate in the controllers. So I will give it a new name, password controller. We don't have a password controller, so we will be creating a new one. So password controller. Now let's give it right. Now whatever we type it here, it doesn't go on that field. So now it's working fine. Now we don't need that. We don't want that the others can see your password. Or text, or we can say hide. So again, this it's obscure text, and then it takes a bool value. So we can get a true. And if we type, it's not visible. If you want to change it to a specific character, we can give a character. Like if I want to give an at the rate, then it will do this. But I guess that works perfectly fine. So here it is. The input fields are done. Now we need to create some buttons, right? That can be that can get activated on entering these details. So again, we will be creating a space first of all, vertical space, and then vertical space of height. Let's take it as 20. We can't see anything because the space is the white space, or we can see the transparent space. Then after that, we need to add a button, right? So we will be using a elevated button. What does elevated button do is basically it's create a button, and it gives elevation to that button. So it is required to give these two arguments specifically. Here you can see it's written required, required, and required. So we need to give these two arguments for sure to this. So as of now, we don't know what it will do when we press this. So we will keep it as null. For the child, we will be in login. Right now it's here. As you can see, it's disabled. So if you want to enable it, and still you want that it doesn't do any function, so you can just type it like this, empty function. You can provide it the empty function. So we need to give it a height or width or some designing to in this thing. So as you can see, it doesn't have any height argument, right? So because the elevated buttons take the height and width according to the child widget. So we will be wrapping this into a container. Again, I have told you container is a very important thing. So we will be giving a height to the container, for example, of 50. I guess it's a little bit more. And then width of, for example, 100. It's will work. No, 250. tells you that we can replace it with the size also, so we can replace it, but we don't want that because we need to decorate it. uh, can't do that, so we will be in decoration to that. For that, we will be entering the box decoration, and again here we can type the border radius of circular, for example 20. Now, again, it isn't giving any definition, right? So why does this happen? Because the elevated button overrides it, all these things. So we can't give the decoration here. So we'll erase it. Then here you can see that we don't have the radius or decoration here also. But we have one thing which is known as style. So we will be styling from here only. Now this thing has few things that you can say the shape, the shadow color, and all those things. So as of now, we will shape it a shape, then rounded rectangular border, you can say, and then here we can give 1 second. Now the shape takes a material state property outline border. So material state property, we will give it a material state property all function. Then here we will be giving it a rounded rectangular border. Now we can give it a border radius. So border radius circular, and then 20. Now it has given us the border. So it's looking fine. Then container will be replaced with the thing. And now again we need a neck. Again we need a sign up button, right, where you can navigate to it. So what we will be doing is we will typing a text button where the text works as a button. So again we will need to give on press function where we will be giving an empty function, and then again child take a text widget which will be given a sign up. Now we have some sign up button, right? Now it's looking good as of now. Then again we will be adding a session where the user can log in through the Google button. So what for that what we can do is uh, let's create a divider, more options, and then sign up button. So for that we will be creating text and then other options. Now it isn't looking good. So what we can do is we can give a horizontal line, right, to differentiate, or we can say to divide the sections. So for that we need, now here we need a row, that how can we align those things in the one line. So for that we will be wrapping this thing into row. Now it's here. Now for that we have a specific thing which is known as divider, a specific widget. Still isn't nothing else changed, right? So why does this happen? Divider, the row doesn't have any specified size, or we can say height or width. So and divider does the same. So both the widgets don't have the preferred size, or we can say the size that it should take or it has. So what we can do is we can wrap those things into a new widget which is known as expanded. Right? And then again we will wrap this as well in the expanded part, and now we can see a bright line is coming, right? So let's do one thing a bit more so that you can see it will be giving thickness to 2, and for example we will be putting a colors black option, right? And save this part and copy that here also. Then we don't need like this thing, right? So what we can do is let's uh, delete this color so that it looks a little bit better. All right, so delete, yes. we need some spacing, right? So for that we can use indent. Indent is like it gives space on the left side, and for the end indent, we can say the indent is the right side and the indent is the left side. Again, here the things is different. We will give indent to 15 because here left side, right side. So here we will be giving indent as 15, and on the above one we have given 20, and here we will be giving and it has 20. Right? Yes, it's looking. Now it's looking fine. So again, it's giving templates that I need to wrap all these things into a so here it is. So now it's looking good. Now we need to add a Google button, or we can say the sign up button. For that, what we can do, we can create our own button. But for now, as of now, we will be using a package for that. And for that, we can use the pub.dev website where you can have some auth buttons package where, yes. So we need a button looking something like this, right? So we can use this package for that. You can see the installation part things. One thing you can do is copy this thing and then paste it into the PubSpec YAML and under the dependencies file in this it will be creating, or it will be refreshing it, or can check all these things, and after that we are good to go. So one thing that you need to do, we should check the readme files where it's always mentioned that how do we need a button, or how we need a design, right? So we need this type of design. So as of now, I will be removing this, and after the row, we need some spacing. As the height, 20, and after that we need the auth button, right? So we can't use that for importing it. So we will be importing the auth button start. Then after that, sorry, it's Google auth button, right? Here it is. Now we need to give it some designs, right? So now where the buttons come, right? But we don't need this design. So as you can see here, the button type is secondary and the icon type is default. So we don't need to give any icon, but we need to give the auth button type. So we will be typing here you can see on pressed. Again we will need a fancy empty function so that the button is enabled. Then we will be typing like, for example, yes. Now we need again we again to design it. It's a auth button style. Here we have the button color, the all those things that we need. So here we will be giving a button type. For that we need to check how it's take auth button type. Yes. And then I need to change the color as well, right? I need the classic blue uh, thing. So color. Here we have some color, so we will be taking button color. It is blue, but it has all the things to the blue. So I need to define the icon colors to white again. Let it isn't taking icon. I need to give the icon background to the white. Sorry, icon background to colors dot white. It's looking good. As of now, we can style the text to it. We can change this text, but we are going to design. So here you can see we have some text style. We won't do that much text styling in this. We just need to change the colors, color to colors to dot white, so that the user can read this design, right? we won't add those that much things. After that, you can let's do one thing. Let's change some more thing into this. For example, the font size, we will change it to 15. Mm, yes, now the font weight, I won't change that thing. Now all these things have been done right now, but these fonts right. So for that, what we can do is um, in to create some space between these rows and this text button, right? So again, font size box 8 of 15. After that, we need to create this all these things, right? So how do we connect these two things to this buttons? For that, what we can do, we can take all both these forms and cut it right for as of now, and we will give it a form widget. What does form widget does is it can create a form, or we can say a specific id to some text fields. So here we can type these things. We haven't changed anything, but as of now these two widgets are in a form. So how do we need still till now we don't know how. So for that, let's give this form a unique id. For that, we use a key. So we will be defining a key first. So final form key is equals to global key. Right. 1 second. Right. Global key. It's a form state key. Now we can define that key to this thing. Again, it's form key. After that, one thing we can see, for example, after pressing the elevator button, we need to see what does the email and password has been given, right? So we can print it. For printing it, again we can use the email controller that we have given, email controller dot text, which gives the text that the then password controller. Again, we will be entering some data, for example, abc@gmail.com, and then again it's password. For example, I read as password. That if I press this login button, you can see I have these things, right? So this is how you connect these things. We can add validators too in these things, in these all those things. That how do these validate? That I will be. Let's do that thing also. We will be creating a validator for that. Validator takes a value that this you have entered. So if value is empty, for example, so we will be returning a error statement that its uh, email is empty. Uh, for example, if right, as of now we will be adding this validator only, same validator in the password section also. So for that, we will again enter these things. Now, and if all those things are good, we just need to return a null, that there is no error in the form as far as the validator knows. How do we active this validator? For that only we defined a form, right? So we have a form which is named as form key. So we will be checking the current state that it has and check validate for the form, right? So it gives yes. If it validates, right, then we need to print both these things. Or if it's empty, it will return some errors. Let's see either it's working or not. Yes, it's you can see the email is empty, but we don't need to print that email is empty is here too. So we will be the password is empty. So again, let's restart it, and then again all these buttons will be working fine. For example, you can see the print sign up pressed, and again it's print say oh, right. Checking whether these two buttons are working or not, right? So it's telling me sign up pressed and Google pressed. One thing that you can see here, it is error that unhandled missing plugin exceptions. What it does for this, you can do one thing, that you just need to end your application and then again run it. For that, let's do again run it. One thing that you can add more to all these parts, that let's do one thing, that let's give the user a function that he can see the password that he has entered by clicking on an icon, right? How the other email function works. So for that, let's do one thing. The password, we will be giving a suffix icon. Let's just wait for a second for this to build. I have to build. I hope till now everything is clear to you. Then after this, we will be giving a suffix icon. We will be giving a suffix icon as icons dot visibility. You can see it's a visibility option, but it's not working as of now. So what we can do, we can give it a new thing which is known as icon button. Again, what it does is it makes your icon work as a button. Again, on press function is required for every button, you can see. Then it takes a icon. Here we can give the visibility icon as of now, but we need to wrap it in the icon first. This is how it works. Now it will be working fine. But what do we need to do after this pressed icon? What we need, that after pressing this button, this icon should change and we can see the password. For that, let's create a boolean value which can manage these things, whether the user want to see or not. So hide pass, we're creating a new variable hide pass, and if it's true, then we need to obscure the text. So by default it will be always true, so that the user whatever the user entered, it isn't visible like now. But what we can do is, when the user taps this button, it should be visible, right? So we can change that variable to false. So for that, we will be entering a set state, and then hide pass, and then again hide pass. What it does, it basically inverses the value of the current high pass. So again, it's let's try it. Now you can see the function is working, right? But we need to change this icon too. So for that, what we can do, we can use a ternary operator. Ternary operator, what it does is, we need to enter a condition. Then if it's true, then expression 1 will run, or else the expression 2 will run. This is how a ternary operation works. So let's create the ternary operator here only. If the hide pass is there, then we need to see the visibility icon, and if it's not there, then we should see icons dot visibility of. Wait, let's see whether it's working fine or not. Now it's working fine. And see, the icon is changing, the text is visible, and all those things. So this is how you basically lay out all the basic widgets, and this is the sign up screen we will be working on. And after that, how after pressing a button we navigate to the other page, this will be explained by Asmith after this thing only. So by giving you a quick recap, we added a image, then we added some text with some stylings, and then we created a form so that it can check the current state of the form that it has. Then we created a few buttons by the default packages, and then we imported a new package. Now the sign up page will be created by Asmith, and that how these navigations work, this will be explained to you by Asmith. Asmith, from here you can take on.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Uh, Hello, guys. If you've attended the last session that was yesterday, I have introduced myself there. Uh, so let me share my screen and get coding. Okay. Uh, I think Spurs, you need to push the code.
Yes, yes, I have done. I have done.
Great. Okay. Okay. So I'll be creating the sign up page and show you how the navigation between pages work in like Flutter in any Flutter app. Okay. So for creating the login sign up page, we'll just copy the code from the login page and to like keep the sign up page similar and do some changes in it to like uh, to add some text fields that will be necessary for our sign up page. Okay, so let me create a file. Okay, so now I'll copy these. Okay, so now we have we don't need the Google authentication button for our sign up page. So I'll remove these. I'll add all the imports that is necessary, and I'll change the home to sign up screen. Restart tab. Okay. Now you can see. Now let's do some changes to like make the sign up screen different from the login. Okay, so we don't need this back. Okay, so this slash and basically just breaks the line, and this sign up now will be displayed in the next line. You can see like this. Okay, and we need two more text fields here basically, one for name of the user and one for confirming your password. So we'll create two more text field. So I'll uh, copy this text field for email and create one for name. Okay, so now we have we'll have to again create one more controller for our name, one for your confirm password. Or we like don't need a confirm password because password is the only thing that will be sent to Firebase. In case you're wondering, controllers are for like storing the text that you are entering in the text field that will be like sent to Firebase to check like we are creating a login sign up to so we need to like check if the user exists or like if the password is correct or not. We'll assign it name controller, say the name. Okay, so we have a let's say the name can't be empty. Okay, so now the validator is also working. Let's create a confirm password text field. I'll use the same for the password. Okay. And say confirm. Okay. So now we'll add one more validator here, that if the password, a confirm password doesn't match the like password field, so it will say password does not match. Value is not equal to password controller dot text. So that's how we like check if the value of this the enter text is not equal to the password controller dot text, because the password controller will contain uh, the password that the user writes in the password field, will return password does not match. Okay, so let's write some uh, and let's write something. Okay, so I need to remove this controller from here first of all. We'll write some random password here and some, and okay, so you can see both the password are not same, so it says password does not match. Okay, now let's change the button logo and make it to sign up, and make this like take this row and divide the section between the sign up button, and first of all create make this button login, so we can go to the login page also from here only. Okay, and between these we'll add a row and give some spacing. Okay, so uh we don't want to like for like when you're making a big app, you don't want to use like same thing, like we are using size box everywhere, so we don't want to like write this much of code every time we want to use a size box. For that you can create a function that returns a size box. So let me show you how you can do that. So, and also one thing, Sparsh told you that every file needs, like every file is different, so we can't write everything in a single file. So similarly, every file is different, so we can't make every file in the library folder. So we for that we can for differentiating that different type of files, we can make folders also. So I'll make a folder for app that name utils, that will like contain all the utilities of our app, and here I'll create a file app dimension that will, and I can create a function here like vertical space that will uh, take height and return sized box, and you can assign height to height. Similarly, we can do this for width, and we need to change it to horizontal space. Now we go to assign a page, and we can call this function here to see if it works or not. Uh, so I'll call vertical space. You can see I'll give it a 15. So we didn't need to like write these much code and just need to call the function, uh, and it takes boolean, so we'll add boolean, and you can see it works. Okay, so we quickly created the sign up page using like the code that was written by Spurs, and we created a sign up page. Okay, now we need to like when we click sign up, we need to go to a home page, or when we click login, we need to like go to go to our login page. So for that, uh, like we can create like root, like a class app roots for our project. So I'll create app route, and this class will be responsible for all the route management of our app. So I'll call a abstract class that is like that represents all the screens in your app. And this abstract class has a method that is called onGenerate method, onGenerate route. Sorry, because we need to import the route. Okay, and call the onGenerate. And this has something called settings, route settings. Okay, so what this onGenerate does, like every time navigator is pushed in this route, so this onGenerate method will be called. Okay, and this like this class like basically will be called from our home page, in our home page. You can call this from routes, app routes dot onGenerate. We don't need to call this. Second. Okay, so let's complete our code here first. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna make a switch case, settings dot name, like switch case, and if like nothing is called, we'll return null first, and if the case is login, we'll return material page route. So what is material page route? It basically handles the animation and the like transition of the screens between our app in our app. So it takes a context, and for like when this is called, will return login screen, and like similarly when sign up is called, will return sign up screen. Okay, so now our basic class like have been made, and you have to set on generate route here, because we are using on generate to handle the route of route management of our app, and you can set initial route to login. So if I hot reload my app, you can see second, let me open or like restart my app. Okay, let me see. Yeah, we need to remove this import that was causing the problem. Let's again restart it. So there might be some unused imports that you like that is like may cause errors when you are creating an app. So you have to keep that in mind. Okay. So now, okay, so we have set the initial route to login. So you can see our login page is open. So now, when we want to click this sign up button, we want to like don't display this sign up pressed. We want to navigate to our sign up screen. So for that, we'll go to our login page and then on sign up on pressed, we'll call a widget that is navigator. So what navigator does, that navigator has many functions. Push with like pushes the like one screen from like navigates between from one screen to another screen. So there is a method here called push name. So by we are using name because in our app routes we have like use the parameter settings.name. Yeah. So we'll use name and give a route log sign up. Okay. Let's click check it that matches. And when we click, you can see we navigated to the sign up page. Similarly, when we want to like click login, we want to go to the our login page. So for that, go to our and change it to login. When we click login, we go to our login page. And now let me create a basic home page that when user signs up or logins, he will be navigated to home screen. To create a stateless widget here. Quickly create a scaffold. I hope like you are now like familiar to scaffold and widgets like containers and all. In our app route, I'll now create one more navigate like route home and call our home screen. And this is called this will return material page route that will call home screen. So go to our home screen and first, let's go to our login screen and on login button press, we'll call the navigator.push name home. The current state like form key validates, then will be navigated to the home to our home. Okay, so if I click here login, it will not navigate because my form key doesn't validate, and if I give something here abc at gmail and some password. Okay, so we are navigated to the home page. Let me quickly create something here. Okay, so now there is something called push name and remove until. So we'll use this for home screen, because when we like click this, we'll go back to the login screen. So we don't want that. Like if the user login, he should not be like navigated back to the home login page. So for that, we'll use navigator dot push name, and there is something called push name and remove until, uh, and that will like make the previous route to false. Okay, now we Okay, so you can see there is no back button here. So Flutter is smart enough to like understand that we have used in the previous screen, we have used the navigator.push name and remove until. So it don't displays the back button. And similarly in sign up page, we'll do the same thing here. And we'll display a short message in the body of our give some styling to this. By the way, these constants are like Flutter told you to like add constant, because it analyzes that these texts are like are not going to change. That's why you have to use like constant. Let's make this bit bold. Increase the font size. Okay, so this is the base. This is a basic like home screen. So today we learned like many things. How to create a function if you need to like call any like widget every time, you can create it as a function. That will like save a lot of line of codes if you're creating a big project. uh, and we learned how to make how to make a navigator for our app. So we created a app route, and we use the settings.name parameters for creating navigation for our app. We created a sign up page. Login page was created by Sparsh. So, so that is all for today. In the next session, Akhand and Sparsh will introduce you to Firebase and add Firebase to our app to like make this app functional, and we can log in using like credentials. You can create accounts, login using that credentials, and uh, later on that you can go to like add many functionalities like forget password and all. So thank you for today. We'll
So we will be opening the Q&A tab so that you can ask us the question that you have.
Yeah, you can get the source code on the GDSC. GDS is GitHub. VIT, GDS is VIT Bhopal GitHub.
Yes, we will be uploading once the session is ended. We will be uploading this code on the club's
GitHub,
GitHub of profile.
GitHub page. Yeah.
You can find the GDSC by searching it only on the GitHub. So for learning Flutter, you
Useful
can
setup.
yes, you continue, Asmit. I guess I'm facing some issues.
I think, yeah. So for learning Flutter, you can use Flutter as your official YouTube channel where they teach you about basic widgets, and also for new packages they also upload videos. And you can also follow the Flutter documentations. Uh, there are like many resources on Stack Overflow, GitHub, all over the place, and you can also I will not recommend you to buy a course because that is not necessary. There are like many free resources and many YouTube channels that like teach Flutter. Uh, yeah, what faculty? For beginners, you can follow any YouTube tutorial. You can like search. You have to search around it depends on the individual. Like one can understand from a particular video and other can't. So you have to like do your searching, and after following a little bit of tutorials you can like transfer to documentation, because learning from documentation is the best way, because there you will be doing the like real work from yourself, rather than like watching a video and watching someone else do the coding. Guys, please don't forget to like fill the attendance form for today's session. The attendance form is in the chat general area. We'll be closing the Q&A in 5 minutes. So if you want to ask the questions, you can ask.
Okay, guys, so I closed the so please join tomorrow to
learn more like Firebase and how to integrate Firebase in a Flutter app, and also the Firebase authentication. So tomorrow's session will be taken by Sparsh and Akhand. Thank you for joining today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye.